And we are live. Welcome to the GM's Dice. This is our first video out, and we're playing a game of Star Wars by Fantasy Flight Games, Edge of the Empire. I'm Sean. You've probably seen me over at Star Wars Tides of Change Role-Playing Club, and this is my new channel. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy, and most of all, I hope you, Ray, enjoy. And if you're ready, you can introduce yourself, and then we'll get started.
All right, my name's Ray. I don't have a channel to promote yet, probably in the near future. Like I said, you can find me over at the Star Wars Tides of Change, as well as the Tabletop One-Shot Group and the RPG Wild Wild West, all on Facebook. Lots of fun RPG action to be had over there.
Don't forget to introduce your character, sir.
And tonight I will be playing a Nikto of the Southern variety. His name's Varanus, and he is a tech mechanic for Besato the Hutt on Nal Hutta, and he's decided to break free of his binds to the Hutt and try to find someone to take him out to the stars and experience life the way it's meant to be, not enslaved in fear of death if you do something wrong. So.
Alright, well, I don't have a video title crawl, but I do have one that I wrote up. So here it goes. A Nikto by the name of Varanus, born into servitude, has made the decision that he wants freedom from the Hutt's control. After careful planning, Varanus has found a transport willing to give him a ride, if he can get the part needed to fix the ship. Part now in hand, Varanus now makes his move to escape Besato the Hutt. And we start out tonight's session with Varanus making his way out the door of the Besato the Hutt's palace tower on Nal Hutta. You're on the 33rd floor, which would put you about a mile off the ground of the actual surface of the planet. Nal Hutta is a massive city, just like Coruscant. In front of you, you see a wide balcony. There are multiple pathways leading off of it, north, south, east. Which way would you like to go?
Well, which way leads down?
You know that you're supposed to meet your contact, your pilot, at the landing platform 64 over by the Corellian sector.
All right. Whichever way heads that direction. I'll head
Okay.
that way.
All right. So you head directly east, making for the quickest route possible. The walkways are pretty full. I mean, it's late in the evening, but the city never sleeps. The planet never sleeps. It's always going, always full. There's always smugglers coming and going. The working or slavery class, or indentured servants, all of them making their ways about. It's fairly easy going. And let's see, go ahead and make me a perceptions check, if you would, please.
All right. Am I looking or
With,
listening?
You tell me. I mean, you're hustling along down through fairly busy streets. I mean, there's all sorts of sounds around you. Would you be listening for people behind you, or would you just kind of be scanning about? Or both?
I'd like to be listening, as I can pick up sounds better than most. What kind of difficulty you want me to use?
Let's go with 2 purple for this one, considering your hearing capabilities.
All right, so we have 1 success.
All right. You hear the familiar sounds. It's a familiar voice. Uh, it's kind of. I mean, it's loud enough that you can tell that they can be heard over everybody else, but it's still quiet enough that they're not trying to be noticed. And they're calling out, Varanus, over here, over here.
Do I recognize the voice?
Yes, you recognize it as one of the younger palace servants. You've never really spoken to him, but you've been around during a lot of conversations. So I mean, it's
Alright.
one of those voices you recognize, but not a person you actually know.
Okay. Um, Try and
But
locate where I
it's
hear the sound from and
right.
duck over and see what they need.
You see a young Twi'lek uh, male, probably the age of about 17 or 18. He's one of the servants. You see him carrying stuff around all the time. Uh, he's kind of a gopher, and he's huddled behind a barrel that's sitting beside like a little like street side cafe type of vendor, and
Is he
he's wait.
supposed to be out?
The servants. Basato is pretty lenient with her servants. She gives them so much free time per day, and as long as they're back on time or within their leeway time, she allows it. If they screw up, it's kind of like they get grounded, sort of thing.
Right.
Basato, she's very easygoing unless angered. If you break her rules, you're screwed.
What is it, boy?
He looks up at you and he says, Basato, she knows you're missing. She's heard of your plans. He says, I don't know how, but I've overheard her talking with a couple of her huntsmen.
I appreciate the warning. Now you better get back to the palace before they notice you're missing too. We don't need them coming after both of us. If they ask, just tell them I went to grab some more motivators for the shop.
And he starts to sort of half nod, half bow, sort of at the same time, sort of bit, and he starts backing off, and he turns around and runs off. But when he does, you see that he's left behind a satchel.
All right. Am I kind of tucked away in an alleyway behind a vendor or something? Not out in the
It's about it's a really small. It's more like a service walkway. It's only maybe 3 feet wide.
I'll just pick up the satchel and then try to find somewhere I can better concealment before I see what he left.
Okay, well, you step down into the alleyway a few feet further where it kind of darkens, and not a lot of people are paying any attention over here. I mean, this stand that you're next to, it's not a very busy one. The stuff that's hanging from the front of it, kind of like the Chinese places you'd see in Little China or something, it doesn't look appetizing in any fashion. But you duck back in behind this place, and I'm assuming you open the satchel and look in?
Yeah, open it up and see what's in there.
Okay. You open it up and you look in, and you see a data stick and like a half-eaten loaf of some funky bread. It's all knotted up and hard.
All right. Is there a way for me to find out what's on the data stick?
Do you have a data pad?
I do have a data pad in my pack.
All right.
So I plug the data stick into my data pad and fire it up. See what
All right.
is what's on there.
You see on it is a list of names. Some of them you recognize that belong to other palace servants. Some of them you recognize as being shipmasters and ship names from some of the ships you've worked on. And all of them have uh, a little red dot next to it, uh, next to the names. And as you scroll through it, you find oddly that your name is on the list, but you've got a black mark next to your name.
All right. All right. Let's see. Do I
It's all in Galactic Basic.
All right. So I recognize
And
some ships and
there's no other information on it. There's no what the list is, type of title of it. It's just a list of names, and all of them have red marks except for yours.
okay. Go ahead and put it back in my pack for now.
Okay. So you put it back in your pack. Do you head on down the way you were headed on toward the hangar?
I'm gonna try and take like the back alleys. No, actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna stay on the main road.
Okay. So you stay on the main path, and you're walking along, trying not to stand out, but not to be look like you're trying to be avoided. Just walking casual, so to speak. And go ahead and make me another perceptions check, if you would.
Same difficulty, or
Yeah, same difficulty. Unless I say otherwise, it's always going to be an average difficulty.
all right.
All right, two successes. All right. Sorry about that. Almost as if destined, you're walking along, and it seems like the crowd sort of starts to split, and you can see ahead of you, probably about a block and a half. You can see a Gank and a Gamorrean, uh, and you recognize the Gank as one of Basato's hunter henchmen, and they're both walking along, and you can tell that they're not just walking along. I mean, they're looking for something. They're stopping and scanning and like paying attention to different people who've got hoods up and stuff. They're looking for somebody. You're muted, sir. Or did I lose volume? Hmm.
What about now?
There you go. Got you back.
All right. All right. So I'm gonna kind of casually walk into one of the nearest storefronts and kind of start shopping around. Look like I'm supposed to be there.
Okay.
Not there. I'm trying to hide.
All right. Nearest place happens to be a used parts sort of makeshift, almost looks like a junk shop.
Okay.
Got all sorts of different mechanical parts and stuff in it.
I'm gonna pick up a couple of parts and try to construct like a MacGyver-ish contraption to cause a distraction.
Okay. So what are you trying to MacGyver out of some of the parts? I mean, there's all sorts of parts. There's ship parts. There's droid parts. There's a menagerie of all sorts of components here.
Yeah, if I can find like maybe grab some droid parts and some type of power source, and maybe a something that's gonna maybe some kind of energy source that I can get to cause a small detonation.
Okay.
Do any damage, just something to kind of toss out to draw their attention, so I can hopefully step down an alleyway.
Okay, you can
Avoid
easily find the parts for all of that. I mean, you can easily see all the different bins. I mean, they're all nice and labeled and whatnot. I mean, some pieces are intermixed, like people have just kind of thrown them up there or whatnot. But you can tell the person tries to keep everything sort of sorted. But if you're going to start putting things together, I'd like you to make a skullduggery check, so that way you're not caught by the store clerk. Because I don't imagine they'd be too happy with somebody just start putting stuff together without paying for it.
Yeah.
A nil. All right. Well, just for the sake of story, we're going to say that nil is the factor that you go completely unnoticed in the store. You kind of walk around and nonchalantly grab your stuff and are capable of getting kind of tucked away at the end of an alley or an aisle. And well, what are you attempting to make?
So I'm just trying to make like a little whatever I can, I guess. Grab a couple parts and try to cause something that's gonna maybe make a little, like a small explosion, cause a little flash, a little bang, just something to draw attention. I'm not trying to build a thermal detonator or anything, so.
All right. Well, we'll say you're able to put together a little lifter and stuff, and you make this little, almost like the little helicopters,
Okay.
toys that you see out today. You make something kind of like that, and it no remote or nothing. You just kind of turn it on and let it loose, and it flies up and out of the store window and across the way from you. And go ahead and let's see. Make a. Just roll me a percentage die, and if it's over 50, we'll say it draws the Gank and the Gamorrean's attention away from you.
Nope.
It actually it backfires completely. I mean, it draws their attention, but it draws their attention instead of away from you. It draws their attention over to the shop, and they begin to head your direction. They haven't seen you yet, but they're heading in your direction.
All right. I'm gonna try and run down the nearest alleyway that I can. Try and get off the main strip before they get over to the storefront and see me.
Okay. Make me a stealth check to see if you're able to duck out and get around the corner before they notice you, before they get through the crowd. A difficulty of 2.
Success.
So all right, yeah.
Managed to get away.
All right, so yeah, you managed to duck around the corner and get running down the alley, and like as you get to the back of the building, you stop and peek around the corner, and you can see that both of them are now standing in the store opening and looking around, peeking through and under stalls and stuff, wondering what the hell's going on. The store clerk's getting irate and hollering at them because they're nosing through. They're not being nice about it. Shit's falling over and hitting the floor. And you turn and head on, continue on down through the alley and make a roundabout way and get back onto your original path of heading towards the hangars. Let's see. And we're going to say that the rest of your walk happens to go fairly easily. You've passed up the favored hunters, and you make your way all the way over to the hangar. Damn, I just lost the word for it. The district.
Shit.
I had it and it was a tip of my tongue and then I lost it. But you make it over to the hangars and all that. Yeah, the Corellian sector. And as you're heading through the docks and the halls and passages, looking for Hangar 64, because even though it's a number, these things aren't in numerical order. They're just assigned symbols and numbers and such. Go ahead and make another perception with 3 difficulty this time. Ouch. All right. So you're heading through the hangar, and you actually pass Hangar 64, and you make a turn, and you turn into what looked like a hallway, but it turns out to be a room, and it's a guard's shack type of thing. Like it's hangar security, and there's 2 guards sitting in here. One of them's sitting in there staring at computer monitors, keeping an eye on things. There's not much law here on Nalhada except when it comes to their ports and their docks and such. They like to make sure their goods come and go smoothly. But one guy is sitting there staring at computer monitors, and another, as you walk in the door, he turns and he looks at you and he says, "What the hell are you doing in here?"
I just made a wrong turn. I was looking for Hangar 77. Can you direct me to where that's at?
He looks at you. 77. And he kind of gives you a quizzical look, and he says, "What do you want with 77?
They're having some engine issues. I'm just going down to take a quick look at it and find out if I can help them or not. Posada said he needs to get this ship up and running, or it's got some important cargo on it. So if you're wise, you'd tell me where it is now."
Okay, you can make me a coercions or charm if you want, or even deception, because you are just blatantly lying.
All right, deception 2.
Okay, he goes ahead and he gives you the quizzical look, but he continues to give you the quizzical look, but he steps you out into the hallway and he points back the direction you came. He said, "Go that way. down to your third right, make the right, go 2 more lefts, and you'll be right down at 77. Good luck. And when he steps back into the guard shack, he kind of backs back into the guard shack. Like he's telling you where to go, but he's not completely buying what you had to say.
I'm going to head towards that hangar instead of my planned destination of 64 for now, until I'm sure he's kind of lost interest in me. And then I'll head back around to 64.
All right. Well, you walk down, and sure enough, following his directions, it takes you down to 77. But when you get down towards there, you begin to realize why he give you the look, and it's because this hangar is definitely not one of Basato's hangars. You see 2 Imperial guards standing outside of 77. But nobody says anything to you. I mean, you just keep walking right on by. I mean, you said you just walk around for a bit and then head back to 64?
Yeah, I'm just going to walk past that one.
Okay.
Not even stop or slow down once I see the Imperial Guards there.
Okay.
And then kind of make my way back around to 64.
All right. Well, you only acquired 1 threat from it, so you're able to make it back to 64. And when you pass back by the guard shack, you notice that the one that you were speaking with isn't in the guard shack any longer, but the other guy watching the cameras, he's still there. But you look around, and there's nobody following you or anything like that. And you head into Hangar 64, and you can see in Hangar 64 the pilot that you met, a Weequay by the name of Doran. He's standing on the landing platform of the hangar, and he's you can see you can't make out what's being said. But I mean, the hangars here, they're fairly large. Probably a good 6 to 7 ships could fit in each hangar. And he happens to be parked clear on the other side of the hangar. And you can, with your hearing tubes and all that, your vocal tubes, you can pick up on the fact that they're having an argument, but you can't quite tell what's being said from this range. And I forgot to say who he was with, but he's standing there with 2 of the hangar security, and he seems to be having an argument with them.
All right, I'm gonna walk up and approach him and see what's going on.
Okay, so as you approach, you can hear that they're having an argument about him having been parked in this hangar for too long. The hangar security, they're hollering at him or talking to him about how he needs to move his vessel and this and that. That he's beginning to slow their transference of goods, and he's just getting in the way. He needs to get his ship out of here and get it to a mechanic dock rather than sitting here. And you can hear him shouting back at them, yelling at them, "If I could move my damn ship, I would. But it's broke down. It's stuck here. It'll be fixed soon, but for now it's stuck." And I was going to say, and about this time is when you come walking up.
Say, upon hearing that, as I'm getting closer, I'm going to kind of quicken my pace, kind of like run up, act like I'm out of breath a little bit. Like, "Oh, I got the part you needed. I can get your ship fixed within the hour, and you can be on your way."
And when he sees you and hears you come up and say all this, he kind of puts his arms up and he says, "See, I told you guys, as soon as my mechanic got here, I'd have it fixed and we'd be gone. Told you it wouldn't take but till tomorrow. Now, he's here. Let us get in here and get to work so we can get this thing out of your way." And the hangar security, he kind of, they look at you and they look back over at him, and he says, "All right, you got till tomorrow. He says, if this thing ain't out of here by tomorrow, we're gonna have it impounded by the Huts." And, you know
Oh,
that
don't
60.
worry, I'll have it done. Like I said, I'll be done in an hour. This is easy. Routine maintenance.
They just kind of shake their head and they turn and walk away. And Doran, he looks at you and he says, we spoke a week ago. I thought this would happen a little quicker.
As would I, but time is a little more delicate dealing with the Huts. I can't just up and leave. They've already noticed I've gone. Oh, so we need to get this done hopefully faster than what I said before they come down on this hangar.
He says, well, get your ass in there and get to work. He says, if you're as good a mechanic as you say you are, then you know where the engine's at in that thing and you know how to get it fixed. There's tools in the engine room. If you ain't got what you need, let me know.
I'm going to head up onto the ship towards the engine room and...
All right. His ship is a Wayfarer class freighter, and it looks like hell. And it looks like it's been shot up, beat up. There's hosing and stuff that's hanging off the side of it that's not connected to places. And on the side of the ship, the name of it is painted on there, the Wayfarer. But when you walk up into the ship, damn, where did I write that down? When you walk up into the ship, you see that on the inside of the ship, when you're walking up the ramp, you come up the ramp and into the main cargo hold, and you can see on the far wall as you're walking up the ramp, there's a poorly painted picture of a dewback. The big lizards that the stormtroopers were riding in the
Tatooine?
Yeah, on Tatooine and A New Hope. And above it is the word dewback painted on it. So it's one of those you get the feeling like this is the ship's actual name, sort of feeling from it.
All right. Before I get started, I'm going to pull that my data pad out, and look at that data stick again, and just see if his name or the ship, the Wayfarer, or anything with dewback kind of shows up on that list, if it has any markings or dots on it.
All three names show up. The dewback, the Wayfarer, and Doran. What did I write his last name down there? Doran Rubes.
All right. And then do they also have the red dots next to them?
Yes, they do.
All right. Interesting. Are there any hangar numbers on this list as well?
Yes, but and 64 is on the list, but it's not there with his name and stuff. It's like under a listing of the Sato hangars.
Was there anything for 77?
No, actually, after 66, that's the highest number there is. The rest of them are all symbols. All Out of this
Um,
out of this district, Basato owns approximately 30 different hangars.
would these be ships that are under his control? So I could
Um,
predict from these how they're marked.
uh, Make me an intellect of 2.
All right. And it's just the.
It's just your general intellect score. Your
Okay, so just it'd be whatever it is of the green then, not
Yep.
the proficiency ones, whatever. All right. All right.
All right, an advantage. All right. Go ahead and tell me what kind of advantage you can glean from the data stick.
Um,
Uh,
let's see. Damn, it's gonna screw me over though. So I presume that the Reds, that this pilot and this ship are under Basada's control,
okay.
and that after fixing this, I'm probably not going to make it off the planet. So
Okay.
I'm going to look for a ship on the list that doesn't have a red dot on it, if possible.
Okay. Unfortunately, everything else on the list has red dots on it. The only thing on it that doesn't have a red dot next to it was your name, and it's got a black one next to it.
All right. Man. Oh. All right. Well, I'm gonna put that away, and kind of. I got my tool belt on, got my tools. I'm gonna head back down and talk to Dorian and see if I can get any more information out of him.
Okay.
So I'm gonna walk down the ramp. And be like, man, the way this ship looks, you'd be better off getting a new one. It's gonna take me probably more than an hour to get this hunk of off the ground.
He laughs at you, and he says, "Well, that's the way it's made to look, son." He says, "Now, you go inside and you take a look around. You'll see that it's not in as poor a shape as it looks."
I'll make that determination once I look at the engines, and we'll see. But I understand your reasoning. So, what brought you to Nal Hut anyway? Ooh. Froze. You there?
Oh, it's me. Give me just 1 second.
All right.
All right, sorry about that. My fault. I forgot to plug my laptop in. It was dying. Are you there, sir?
Yep, I'm here. You hear me?
Yep, you're back.
All right.
Okay, so he's telling you that the ship's made to look this way. It's not actually this way, and once you get inside and get a look around, you'll see that it's in a lot better shape than she looks on the outside. And he says, "We should talk inside."
We'll head on back into the ship, I guess, and continue our conversation.
Okay. As you guys head up the ramp, he kind of looks around and looks behind him and all this, and is and he turns to you and he says, "I'm a pirate boy." He says, "The ship's made to look like she's a wreck, so that way I can get over on people a little easier. There's still
Makes
nice.
sense.
There's still nice folk out there who like to come to the rescue of a ship who's been waylaid."
I see your point. I'll take a look at the engines and see how great this ship really may be. But I was wondering what brought you to Nalhutta.
Work.
You get a lot of work through here?
One of my main ports.
You more of a freelancer, or you have allegiance to anyone?
Well, I'm freelance. I do a majority of the work through a couple of clients, but
So
I
what are the
don't
chances
I
are
don't owe allegiance to anyone.
So what are the chances are I fix your ship and you hand me over to Posada?
Not likely. Why? Are they looking for you already?
They are. I've come across some information. Your name's on it. Your ship's on it. Why would Posada be looking for you?
As far as I know, she's not. Our last transaction went well.
Well, I'll fix your ship, and you're going to get me off this rock.
That was
And to
our agreed
ensure that,
upon.
I'm going to place a failsafe. If I step foot off this ship, you no longer have a ship. I am very capable. If you know who I am, and obviously know who I've worked for, there's many things I can and can't do. And this is one of those things I can.
And he just kind of he takes a half step back and crosses his arms over his chest and gives you sort of a scowling, stern look. And he says, "Now, are you to be implying that I'm not telling the truth and being honorable in our deal? You fix my ship. It saves me the money of doing it myself, same as you paying me to get you out of here. Posado hasn't come to me and tried to pay me for you, so I'm not turning you in. Not as long as you hold my part and now hold my ship in hostage."
I said, I'll fix your ship and we'll get off this rock. We do that, you and your ship's fine. If you seem on the up and up, then maybe we can make some things work. But until then, I've got to watch my back. We are dealing with Hutts. You should understand that more than anybody.
He just nods at you and he says, "Agreed. Now fix my ship so we can get off this rock."
Head back to the engine room and take a look and see what this thing really is.
Okay.
It's as worthy as he claims it to be.
All right, well, you get back. I mean, as you're walking through the ship, you can tell right off bat that the inside is in far better condition than the outside. I mean, it's not pristine, clean, perfect, and he is a dirty pirate, but it's in no way, shape, or form in poor condition on the inside. And go ahead and make me a mechanics check.
All right.
Difficulty of 2. All right. You are 100% positive that just from looking at the stuff as you're kind of walking along the corridors and at how like I said, it's not perfect, but it's well kept. but you're 100% positive that everything on the outside is just for show. That it's probably like air canisters hooked up to random hoses and whatnot to make it look like the ship's venting atmosphere and stuff like that. The ship is definitely not what she appears. And it just gets further proven when you get into the engine room, because the engine room is immaculate. There is one blown out, burnt out area on the ship, and you recognize it exactly as the capacitor that you've got in your satchel.
All right. I'm going to get to work and get that replaced. And head back out and let them know when I'm finished.
Okay. Make me another mechanics check, and for every success you get, we'll cut the repair time down by like 15 minutes. Okay, success and 4 advantage. Why don't you tell me what kind of massive advantage you're able to pull out of this engine and all that while repairing it?
Unbeknownst to him, I can't make his ship blow up if I step off of it. But even as great as this engine is, not only do I get the repair finished so quick, I even upgraded a little bit. He can now, it's now a little faster.
Okay, so we'll say it goes up from the speed 3 that it had, it goes up to a speed 4.
All right.
All right, so you get everything fixed, and roll me a perceptions check versus 3 difficulty.
All right. Is this sight or sound?
Sound.
All right.
Nil. All right. As you're walking through the ship, you can hear hustle and bustle outside of the ship, but you can't quite hear what it is, because about the same time you notice it, you start hearing the sounds of repulsor lifts. So it sounds like there's probably a ship either coming in to land in dock, or one that's probably taking off. But due to it, you miss out on the other sounds that originally piqued your interest.
All right. I'm gonna head out and kind of take a look around, see what all the commotion is. And let
Okay.
Doran know that I'm finished with the repair.
All right. Well, just as you're getting to the top of the ramp, the sounds of the repulsors fades enough that you're able to hear Doran, and and yet it seems to be another argument with somebody. But you're able to make out clearly, I've never seen no Nikto by the name of Varanus.
I'm gonna kind of stay up top, then kind of maybe back away, see if I can find somewhere to hide in the cargo hold. He's, like I said, he's a pirate, so I'm sure he's got some kind of smuggling storage space on this ship.
Okay. Let's see. Go ahead and let's see.
Let me give it like a.
Let's go ahead and use mechanics, because you're probably better at it than you are the skullduggery. I believe it would still fall into the category of it. This time with another 3 difficulty. All right. You are able to find one of the wall panels as you're looking around. It's subtle enough, but obvious to your mechanic's eye that this panel is not quite fastened the way it's supposed to be. And I'll let you tell me the advantage that you get from it.
And so as they're, you can still kind of hear them down at the bottom of the ramp, and they're talking about how they're gonna search his ship anyway because they've had reports of someone matching my description in this area of the Corellian sector. And you can kind of hear them push by and coming up the ramp. At that moment, I kind of slide into the hole and get the panel placed, like almost just in time before they get up to the cargo hold, and everything kind of looks normal again to them.
Okay. We'll go with that. The cargo hold happens to be plenty big enough. Let's see, you had 3 successes, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3. But I'm going to put it versus a perceptions check on their behalf to see if since you said you were closing it just as they were coming in, to see if they actually noticed that. And let's see, where did I put his? There it is. And that's that. And give him a set back due to your advantages. All right. Just as you're closing the gap on this thing, and they're coming up the ramp and happening to turn your direction, you see that this is the gank that you saw earlier out on the boardwalk. And he looks directly at you. But when he does, he's completely blindsided by another Weequay that steps out of another room coming into this portion of the hallway. And this Weequay is just massive in stature. Think of like Andre the Giant type massive. He's probably the largest Weequay you've ever seen, much less heard of. Weequay are typically thin, athletic, little wiry things. But so he gets completely blindsided by this guy stepping out, and kind of steps in between the two of you.
All right.
So it gives you a chance to act, basically.
All right. So he basically saw me in there, so I didn't.
Yeah, like just as you're closing, like just as you're ducking your head into it to close it, they come around the corner, and like you guys lock eyes, and then this big wall of a Weequay steps out from another, like the refresher, and is in between the two of you, which gives you a moment to act.
All right, I'm gonna draw out my holdout blaster and take a quick shot at him.
Okay.
So it's 3.
I'd say you're at short range, but you've got somebody in between you, plus you're cramped, so...
Oh, he's in between me? Oh, okay, I thought he was on the other side.
Yeah, like the Weequay, this big wall of a Weequay that steps out, he steps out, he steps out in between you and the gank.
I was thinking the gank was in between me and the Weequay. All right.
No.
Well, in that case,
when I say that, I mean he's not like completely blocking your view of him. I just mean that he's in between the two of you.
I don't know. You said he's pretty big, though.
Yeah.
Uh, so I'll just come out um, and get into the engaged range and go brawler then instead.
Okay.
I was trying to look it up because I forgot to see how it works. But I
Well,
have the shock gloves. I'm wearing a pair of shock gloves that
okay.
I
So,
crafted. So my work gloves have the shock glove capacity, I guess.
yeah, they do strain damage,
Okay.
and once their strain is up, they're incapacitated.
So I haven't looked at. I don't think I've seen combat yet.
But let's
I
see.
missed it the other night. So
This I'm gonna give this round I'm giving you is sort of like a surprise round due to all of his strain that he or all of his threats that he rolled.
okay.
So after this, we'll then roll cool to figure out the actual initiative, whether or
All right.
not who all goes and when.
So yeah, if it's close enough, I guess. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
run
I
up and
mean,
grab hold of it, like
he's definitely close enough, but it'd be a maneuver to get yourself out of the
That's true.
little
Yeah.
cubby, and then you could either use your action as another maneuver to get you over to him to where you could attack right away on your next turn, or you could take 2 strain to make another maneuver and still attack.
Let's see, where's my string?
The rule is you're technically supposed to attack, then spend the strain to move again, but I'll allow it either way.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
Okay, so you
So
take 2. So you
I'll
pull
climb
yourself
out.
out. You take 2 strain to charge over after him again, and
All right, and so that'd be the
your engaged range. You're just trying to reach out and grab him. 1 difficulty versus your melee, I believe it is, or would it be brawl for the
brawl.
gloves? Brawl. All right,
Yeah.
so yeah, versus your brawl.
So that. Success to advantage. All right.
All right, so you grab him, and what do you choose to do with your 2 advantage?
So I just grabbed since he's kind of distracted and stunned from the giant we played clocking him. I just kind of grabbed both sides of his head with my gloves, my
Okay.
hands, and then let loose the shocking stun. And that's going to, I guess, however that works is that. So
It should have a damage, and then it would add your brawn to the damage.
all right, so it's 3 damage and then 3 brawn to that.
Okay,
So
and
6 damage.
the shot gloves, they bypass
Stun 3.
soak, don't they?
I'm not sure. I didn't see anything in there about that. I was trying to look up.
I'll have to look it up for next time, unless you
Yeah, I forgot to.
But for
Write it
tonight's
down.
session, I'll make a note of it to look it up. But for tonight, we're gonna say it bypasses soak because you're grabbing them by the head, and that's like the one place that this gank isn't armored. And you said it was 3 and 3, so that's 6.
Yes.
All
And
right.
stun 3.
All right. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. You reach up and you grab this guy by the head and zap him, and he uh, he stumbles backwards, grabbing his head for a moment, and now everybody can roll cool, no difficulty. Um, I actually have to roll three different ones. So let's see. All right, so you got an advantage on yours. You got that. You got a mill, and then all right. So the big wall of a Weequay, he goes next. Or he goes first this round. We've got, or actually, you can decide whoever. But you've got, let's see, there's one, that's, you got two NPCs that can go, and then two NPCs or players, and then the two enemy NPCs, and then another player NPC.
All right.
So who do you want to go first? Do you want to go again right away, or do you want to have one of the other guys go?
Let the Weequay go first, right here. He's the one that did the 4 successes, or?
The big one's the one who, the big brick wall guy. He's the one I rolled for that had the 4 successes.
Yeah, have him go first, and then him, and then the other 2, and then the last guy.
Okay. Yep. It'll be basically you got 2 good guy slots, then you got the 2 bad, and then 1 more good guy.
All right.
So the big guy kind of taking your lead here as and also seeing Dorn's reaction at the same time as you're grasping me out at this guy. He reaches out with just to slam this guy. Just big meaty fist. He just reaches out to nail him, and that is, let's see. Engaged range. So we're gonna go 2 because you're right there, and damn advantage. But all right, so he reaches out and swings, and he misses as this gank is still stumbling and reeling backwards from just having his brain zapped. And you've got 2 other good guys, you and 1 other guy. Do you want the other guy to go, or do you want to go?
I'm going to go again.
Okay.
And then, so I'm going to strike the gank. He's the one I think I'm more afraid of. I don't remember what the other guy was, but...
Gamorrean.
Gamorrean, yeah.
Yeah, and he's still at the bottom of the ramp.
Okay, yeah, since I'm still engaged with the gank, and then I definitely know their reputation, so I want to try and get him out of this as fast as possible. So yeah, I'm going to take a swing at him.
Okay. Just looking to punch at him and punch him?
Yeah, I use with the shock gloves, or like a shocking punch, I guess it is.
I believe with the shock gloves, you've got every other round.
Every other. I
So
think
like you
I think you're
wouldn't,
right about that. Yeah.
so
So
you
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
be able
it'll
to
just be
shock him again this round. You'd have to wait till
just
next round.
regular unarmed.
Okay, so just your brawl, unless you're trained in melee.
Yep,
Uh,
brawl.
so yeah, just your brawn check versus one difficulty because you're in engaged range and nobody's in between you and him.
All right. So 3 and a threat.
All right. So you swing out and hit, and you said your brawn was a 3.
Yes.
All right. So you add 2 because of the 2 other successes on there. The first one goes as a success, making it a hit. The other 2 get added on to damage. And let's see, the threat. We're gonna just add that to you as strain at the moment.
Okay.
Because I mean this gank is he's probably close to a foot taller than you are, and he fully armored, and he's clearly a soldier of some type or a hunter. I mean, as you know, he is for the Sato, but I mean, you're just a mechanic. So we're going to put that as strain on you. That even though so far you're doing pretty good, you're still pretty nervous and scared that you're standing toe to toe with one of Basato's hunters. But let's see, that's 5 minus. All right, so yeah, you deck him right in the face, and he just continues to kind of stumble backwards for a moment. Still stumbling and reeling from having been hit. And then we're going to say it's the Gamorrean's turn. And he comes charging as fast as one of these fat, pig-faced Gamorreans can shuffle his way up the ramp. And he's going to attempt to grab Doran because Doran's the closest to him. So that's going to be... Wow. He's coming up from behind him. All right. He does not manage to grab Doran, but he does manage to knock Doran forward and knock him flat on his face. So now it comes around to being the gank's turn, and still reeling from being zapped and punched square in the flat nose. He pulls a vibro knife and attempts to stick you, sir.
All right.
So that's 3. He's in engaged range, but he gets a setback from that. So, all right, success and 2 advantage. Let's see, with the 2 advantage, he can. You get a difficulty to your, a setback to your next check, to your next attack on him, and you take a total of, let's see, 4. And all right, so you take a total of 7.
All right.
Minus any soak that you have.
So soak 4, so 3 damage.
As he reaches out to stick you, he kind of catches you in the fleshy sort of right along your ribs. Doesn't go in and sink in to pierce anything vital or anything, but it hurts like hell. And then it's Doran's turn. Doran, instead of attempting to stand up, he kind of does this little breakdance spin move. Like he's laying on his belly and he flips over onto his back and kind of spins and attempts to trip the Gamorrean and the Gank, which is going to be difficult as hell, but he's going to attempt it anyway. So... did I give him melee or anything? I did not. So here we go. Nil. He just looks like a breakdancer spinning on the floor. He misjudged, and he's not close enough to either of them to actually trip him. So we come back around to the top, and you can have Big Ugly go, or you can go.
I'm gonna let the Big Ugly go again.
All right. He reaches out again to. This time he he attempts to disarm the Gank. Like he attempts to reach out and grab that wrist, and if he's capable of grabbing it, he like twists and spins it till he drops the knife, type of thing. Which he has no setback. He's engaged, so he's just reaching out to grab. He's got on. Plus that. Oh, and a triumph. So, yeah, Big Ugly, he reaches out and grabs the Gank by the wrist and just begins to twist. And the Gank drops the knife, but he keeps twisting, and you hear some snaps. And when he lets go of the Gank's arm, about halfway down the forearm, it just hangs and flops, like almost like you'd have two elbows, type of thing.
All right.
And if we're going the same as last time, that would put it at your turn, sir.
Mine. So I'm gonna grab that same arm that's kind of dangling there, since he won't be able to resist it, and then shock him again. So
Okay.
I have a setback, right?
Yes, you have a setback this time.
It's the black dice.
Yep. One black versus, let's see, you're still engaged, so it's one black, one purple.
Right, so two
All
successes.
Right. Yep, 2 successes. So yeah, you reach out and grab a hold of his arm, and what were you wanting to do?
I'm going to shock him again. So
Okay.
6 damage.
So it's another 6 damage. All right. Tell me how badly you fry this guy, because yeah, you just you did him in.
Since his arm's broken, the armor has been compromised, so it's not protecting him from the shock. I'm actually getting to his flesh. And it's just, like I said, he just fries. It just travels up his arm, and it gets to his brain, and then you just kind of see him kind of jolt a little bit and just kind of go limp and fall to the floor with his dangly arm just kind of hanging in my hands.
Okay. And that brings us around to the Gamorrean, who, just having seen his superior here just obliterated before he could really do anything, he turns and runs back down the ramp, and is at the bottom of the ramp now. And then that falls around to, let's see, the Gank's going. So Doran sits up. He doesn't stand up, but he sits up and he pulls a what did I give him? I gave him a light blaster. pulls a holdout blaster out from underneath his like duster style trench coat, and he shoots at. So it's the shoots at the Gamorrean heading down the ramp. That's 2-1. He's at, and he's sitting on the ground. So so we'll go with just go with a hard shot for him for that one. Nil. So he fires, but it just fires right past him into the floor of the hangar. And it's back around to either you or Big Ugly.
Yeah. I'll go next this time.
Okay.
I'm gonna reach into my coveralls and pull out my hold-up blaster.
Okay.
And, move into a position to where I can see the Gamorrean and fire at him as well.
All right. Well, with you still being standing, it gives you a nice vantage point over him, so it's just the 2 difficulty to hit. Because he's got his back to you, and he's heading down and off the ramp and trying to get out of the ship and get away. Oh, nice.
Wow.
All right. So whatever your holdout blaster does plus 4.
So that's gonna be 9.
So yeah, describe to me how you kill this Gamorrean.
And then I'm going down the ramp. The only visible target I have was his head. So you see a blaster bolt go screaming through the ship, and then out the front of his pig face into the cargo hold, and he kind of tumbles down the ramp, following behind.
Okay. And as this happens, I mean it creates quite the disturbance on the hangar for your threats. Everybody in the hangar now is paying attention to what's going on with the Wayfarer.
I yell over to Doran, how fast can you get this ship off the ground?
And as he's climbing to his feet, and he says, "Boy, we've already left," and he takes off running for the cockpit of the ship. And Bruiser here, the big ugly, he turns and heads for the cargo hold. Or the ladder to the upper cargo hold, I should say. I'm sorry, because you guys are in the cargo hold now. And where do you head, sir? You just kind of stand, because everybody's just kind of turned and left you standing there at the top of the ramp.
Said, well, I guess I'll close this and hit the button to pull in the ramp and head towards the cockpit to talk to Doran.
All right. By the time you get up to the cockpit, he's already sat down and strapped himself in, and he's going through all the procedures to take off. You can hear the engines winding up, and the ship takes off and makes for breakneck speeds for atmosphere. And just as you guys are making from the bluish smog-filled sort of purple-blue smog-filled Nar Shaddaa sky, and it turns from that to black with stars. The comm system bleeps, and it just it comes on right away. Like he doesn't reach up and turn it on or anything. It just beeps, and then all of a sudden, in front of you, you actually see Basato, a holographic image of this purple-skinned female hut, and she says, "Let's see." She as it pops to life, she looks at Doran and smiles, and looks over at you and smiles, and she says, "Varanus, if you wanted reassigned to an off-grounds position, you needed but ask. As it happens, you found your way to a valued transporter of mine. I'll forgive your transgressions, and you may stay with Doran as long as you remain profitable."
Seems fair. I'll keep your ship flying as long as you keep your hunters off my back.
The hunters that I sent after you were just sent to merely bring you back to me. They weren't sent to harm you. And if any of them attempted it, just tell me and I'll take care of them. And
you don't need to be worrying about that. We managed to leave before they could board the ship. But like I said, I'll keep your ship flying, and then as soon as I get the creds, I'm gone. Does that sound fair?
She kind of puts her big meaty hands up, and she's doing one of these things. She says, "As soon as you get your creds, you're gone." She says, "It'll take a lot for you to buy your freedom from me." She says, "You are a very valued and skilled mechanic. I can't just have one of my best leave for nothing. It has to be profitable." She says, You're free to have this off-world position with one of my transporters. Free to live as you will, as long as you stay with them." That gives you more leeway than any other servant I have. Near freedom, even.
It'll work for now. We'll talk again when I get the credits. Just tell your pilot where our next job is, and I'll make sure it gets done for you.
Good, good. I'm glad you see it my way. And the hologram then turns, and she looks at Doran, and she says, "Take care of my mechanic. Now, I have some goods that were taken from one of my other transporters. I want them back. Here are the coordinates." And as she says that, over the computers, a listing of coordinates pops up, and she says, "It shouldn't take long to procure them. Return them to me immediately." And the hologram blips off. And Doran, he kind of sits back in the seat, and he looks at you. He says, "Well, not exactly as planned, but I still got my ship fixed for free."
right. Not as planned. What was the plan? Because that could have went a lot worse than what it did.
Well, the plan was to get the ship fixed and get out of there before anybody showed up, and before anybody knew you were with me. But while you were back there working, those guys showed up. They wouldn't take no for an answer. Seems somebody else on the hangar bay saw you come in here and pointed you out and singled you out as being here, and they weren't taking no for an answer. Well, Bruiser, my partner there, he was indisposed at the moment and wasn't able to keep him off the ship.
So how long do you plan on working for, Basada?
He says, well, kind of in the same boat that you are. I owe a debt.
Let's get this job done and move on to the next. I'll keep your ship going as long as you make sure your Bruiser does all the fighting. I'm not much for combat, but I have a couple tricks up my sleeve when the time comes.
He still sitting back. He says, well, good. He says, you may not be much for combat. He's great at that, but he ain't much for conversation. He says he don't talk at all, no tongue. He spoke too much at one point in time.
Well, at least he's still useful. He could have lost something more precious than his tongue.
Oh, by far. So, what are those coordinates? Where's she sending us? Do you have any astrogations or anything like that?
I do,
or
only
computers?
because of my intelligence. So
Okay. Versus 2 difficulty.
it's pretty good.
Yowza. Yeah, you look at the coordinates on there and relate them into the computer and all that, and you turn around and kind of a shocked look on your face, I'd imagine, as these coordinates are for dead center in what is now referred to as the graveyard. You would know it as Alderán's coordinates.
All right. Well, we don't have much choice on this one. You may want to go ahead and set in these coordinates, and you'll find on our route there we might make it a little bit faster. I took the liberty of enhancing your engines when I was doing the replacing the capacitor for you. So the sooner we get there and get this done, the sooner we can get out of there.
He looks at you and he smiles. He says, I knew I liked you just from the moment we met. I knew you were going to be good. He turns around in the swivel seat and he says, oh, it's going to be a long ride. He says, Alderán's about a week and a half from this end of the quadrant here, from this end of the galaxy. Got us a long haul. And he finishes putting them into the astrogations and hits the hyperspace activation, and off you go. And that'll be the end for tonight.
Sweet.
And sorry about any technical difficulties for anybody watching or anybody who watches this later. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.